Oh man, it's been I don't know. I got a chance to really play basketball the way I wanted to. So I would say football, definitely.
But what do you miss? Like, I think you've said you would have been a better football player than basketball player. Why do you feel that way?
First of all, it was just my first love. It was the first game that I fell in love with, and I just feel like my versatility. You know what I mean? Being able to play so many different positions, um, and having I think more of an impact on the game because I was able to play on both sides of the ball.
I wonder if you were born like 15 years too soon. Like, if you were coming up now, do you think you would stay with football or try to do both?
I would have definitely tried to do both. Just from the love that I had for basketball and that I've had for basketball since Michael Jordan gave me the vision. I definitely would have tried to play both. And I really put in that effort because when I went to Georgetown, I asked Coach Thompson, could I play football? Because we had to walk to the gym every day from class, and I always had to pass the football field. And I remember going past the football field, I used to always get emotional, and tears would be coming out of my eyes. And because I had missed the game so much, and one day I just built up enough courage to ask him, could I play? And I don't think I can. With the language, I don't think I can say what he said. But I never thought about playing again. I knew it wasn't going to happen.
But it made you that emotional.
Yeah. I mean, because I loved it so much. I mean, it was such a big part of my life. Just the fact of how effective I was at it, and I was getting better and better at it. And then when the situation happened with the bowling alley, and when I obviously I got in that trouble, and when I came home, I was recruited by everybody in the country in both sports, and I had no more offers at all. And my mom eventually went up to Georgetown and begged my life, and coach gave me a shot, and the rest is history.
If you didn't get into trouble, where do you think you would have gone instead of Georgetown?
I thought about. I really wanted to go to Notre Dame. I wanted to go to Notre Dame, and then Joe Smith went to Maryland, so I thought about Maryland to play with him. And then I went up to Duke on not really a visit, but I went up there and I got to meet Bobby Hurley. Bobby Hurley was my favorite college basketball player.
Really?
Yes. So I really wanted to go there because I love Bobby Hurley so much.
Wait, were you rooting for Duke against UNLV?
No. I wasn't a Duke fan. I was a Bobby Hurley fan.
What was it about Hurley that you liked?
His toughness. I just love how tough he was. The small stature. I'll tell you something crazy, Dan. Like when I got to the league, I played against him one time, and I remember his dad being on the sideline, and once again, about his language. So I just remember him telling Bobby to bust my ass, and some more stuff that went along with it. And I was like, "Hey, like, don't he know, how much I love Bobby Hurley?" You know what I'm saying? But obviously he didn't. But yeah, man, I never was a Duke fan. I was definitely a Bobby Hurley fan, though.
How did you react, or what did you think when Michael Jordan referred to you as a little bitch? Or first time he saw you, didn't he use that expression?
I don't think that was the first time he saw me. We was at the All-Star game the year that had to be my rookie year. It was the year that they gave out. They did the top 50 guys.
Yeah.
And I think I was coming off the court from something, and I saw him, and they were getting ready to go on because he had his jacket on, and he just grabbed me. There's a photo out there with him having me like in a headlock, and he was just like, what's up, you little. But no, there was no disrespect in it. And then I didn't take it that way anyway. I was just happy for him just saying anything to me.
But when you see yourself cross over Mike twice, like, it's pretty impressive. Like, what are you thinking?
I mean, it was against, it was against Black Jesus. And I always told my friends growing up, that if I ever got an opportunity to try my move on the best that ever played the game, that I would. And it was just a moment. It just happened. And, I backed them up and I did it. And I really didn't know the significance of it when it first happened, because I was just into the game, just playing the game. But then in the aftermath of everything, seeing it all on ESPN and, all on the news and everybody talk about it, I was like, oh, yeah, I really did something. But, thinking back on it, I had got guys way worse than that, but it was just the fact that it was him. You know what I mean? And the crazy part about it is he still almost blocked it.
I know.
That's the testament of how tough he was and how great he was.
But he didn't say anything to you, did he, after you did it?
No. He didn't say nothing to me until years later. I went to, because I live in Charlotte, so I went to a Hornets game. And, me and him were, I guess it was an area in the back where, he chilled at halftime. And he had me back there and we were just talking. And I just kept telling him how much I loved him and how much he meant to my life and my career. And, telling him I wouldn't have had that vision of playing basketball if it wasn't for him. And he was like, you don't love me that much. You wouldn't have crossed me like that. And we laughed about it. What's crazy with him is I get around him. And I've been around him so many times, since the first time I met him. And I still get like nervous. I still, just fidgety around him all the time, because I love him so much. And, he's still like, when I see him, he don't look real. He's like he got some type of a glow about him or something, an aura. You know what I mean? He just don't seem. He was the only person in my life that I've ever met, and he don't look human to me.
But there has to be these younger players that look up to you the way you looked up to Jordan.
That's one of the greatest feelings in the world, especially with me being here with my All-American game, with my classic. And, the way they look at me, the way I have their attention when I'm talking. And it's just, it makes me feel like, okay, this how you was, or this how you are with him. And it's just a great feeling to see that, guys grew up off of me and, love me the way I love him. It's just a blessing.
Alan, can you hold on? I got a few more questions I want to ask, including the famous press conference when you said we're talking about practice. We're back with Allen Iverson here on the Dan Patrick Show right after this. We talked football. We talked Michael Jordan. Talked about a variety of things with Allen Iverson, kind enough to stay with us here for a few more minutes. Joining us on behalf of PointsBet, which prides itself on speed and ease, the ease of using it, the deepest slate of pregame and in-play betting options in the world, and he's been an ambassador since the brand's launch in 2019. Allen Iverson rejoins us. So what are you doing with PointsBet?
Anything they ask me to do. Definitely. You know what I mean? We have a great relationship. It's been a couple years now, and it's just a great partnership. I don't do a whole lot of betting on games. My friends do that. They're into it. They do it damn near every day. And I just thought.
Do they ask you for advice though?
No. They just they just use me for who I am.
They use you for tickets and things like that.
I mean, just like everybody else do. You know what I mean? I'm surprised that this many years later after playing that I'm still irrelevant and popular.
Well, you were ahead of your time.
I must have did something right out there.
But you're an iconic figure. It's almost like Randy Moss in football. Like you were ahead of your time.
That's a great compliment, by the way.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But when you had the tattoos and how people viewed you, and now everybody's got tattoos.
Right.
But at the time, did you feel like you were kind of on an island that it was just
Yes, that's a great question. And because I kind of took the ass whipping for it, Dan. You know what I mean? And it's kind of bittersweet because back then I was so young, I was 21 years old, and I didn't understand. I was basically just dressing like the guys from, my neighborhood that I, grew up with, so it was natural to me. And then with the tattoos, It was basically like, I always wanted them, but I just couldn't afford them. And then once I, could afford them, then that's why I just went overboard with it, because, all of my tattoos mean something. And then with the hair, like would go on the road and guys would mess my hair up when I go to the barbershop. So I thought like, man, if I can just get it cornrowed, then I don't have to worry about, guys messing my hair up on the road. So that's how that happened. You know what I mean? So, with the dress code and all that, I was hurt by it. I didn't understand it or whatever. And, now you see guys wearing whatever they want and looking the way they want. And, I know it's had a lot to do with me, getting the dress code changed. But, it's a good feeling now to see guys express themselves the way they, want to. Because when you look at the game, everybody don't play the same. So why would everybody look the same? Why would everybody dress the same? You got all these guys in suits. When I grew up, I never went to the park with a suit on to play basketball. You know what I mean? So, the only time that I wore suits was to church and to a funeral. So,
David Stern said, everybody thinks this is the Allen Iverson rule. He said, right. It's really Steve Nash, that he had a problem with how Steve Nash dressed when he went to the press conference as well. So, just to let you know, that's the commissioner telling me, because I referenced the Allen Iverson dress code. He goes, Steve Nash, I had a problem with how Steve Nash dressed at press conferences.
Learn something new every day. I did not know that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And God bless him. I mean, me and him became so close, you know what I mean? Especially after my career was over. You know what I mean? The latter part of my career and towards the end, you know what I mean? I got a great relationship with him. And I'm glad, that it ended up being that way before he passed. May he rest in peace.
What's your best tattoo?
My kids.
Okay.
My kids. My chest.
You didn't get a Michael Jordan tattoo?
No, I love him to death.
If you had money when you're growing up, would you have gotten a Michael Jordan tattoo?
Maybe when I was maybe when I was a little kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I knew that would probably be something super corny. I wouldn't have did that. I love him, but not that much.
What do you see when you see Ja Morant?
I see greatness. I see greatness. I see a once in a lifetime talent. I see a lot of myself in him as far as the fearlessness. Him being a competitor, him just being a killer that could change the game in so many ways. I see someone that his teammates love and they follow and they believe in. I think when I thinking about him. When I look at the landscape of the NBA and I see all of the things that go on with the, guys teaming up to play with each other now. If Shaquille O'Neal became a free agent and wanted to come play with the 76ers, I would have loved for, to play with him or Kobe Bryant. But I never thought about, going to, team up with other guys. I never thought about that because I always felt like, guys on my squad were good enough because they pros, Dan. You know what I mean? Like, and I always used to think, about myself and the belief that I had in myself. And I thought, well, damn, if you put me with 4 other professionals on the basketball court, then we can't be beat. You know what I'm saying? And I used to always, like, the best feeling that I had as a basketball player throughout my career was the fact that my teammates felt like if they had me in the foxhole with them, that we would have a chance to win against anybody. And I feel like that's how Ja teammates feel about him. As long as we got him, we could win.
But could you have changed your style to preserve have a little bit more longevity? Because you attacked. And
right.
And at some point, like Dwayne Wade attacked and then stopped attacking as much. Michael Jordan stopped attacking him. Could you have changed? And do you think Josh should be concerned about that, attacking all the time?
I don't. I think, if he tried to alter his game, he wouldn't be him. He wouldn't be the guy that he is today. And you know, I don't have um, too many regrets. I think probably the only regret that I have in my career is that I didn't listen to Coach Brown earlier. You know what I mean? If I was able to take constructive criticism a lot better and understood that it was constructive criticism and not him just getting on me just because he wanted the same thing that I wanted, you know what I mean? And that was to win. And if I would have let him polish me a lot earlier, I think it would have made me better and it would have made us better. And one more thing, I think me being someone that didn't like to lift weights, I kind of regret that because I think how much better could I have been if I would have been a lot stronger. You know what I mean? I remember a time with Billy King, we had a new strength and conditioning coach, and Billy King introduced me to him. And I was like, you know, why would you introduce me to him? We're not gonna have any type of relationship. You know, I didn't like to lift weights because I thought they were too heavy. But looking back on it, like
But you didn't like to practice either, though, Alan.
Man, that was so off, and that was something that bothered me a lot because I think the way kids look up to me, and the way guys, even guys in the league, look up to me, I didn't never want them to think that that wasn't important, and that wasn't the message that I was sending. You know what I mean? There was just that press conference, and they just kept asking me about the same thing, and I got fed up. And it was just one of those days that I didn't want to talk about that. I was there. The press conference was to tell my fans in Philly that I wasn't getting traded. That was what it was about. I just met with Coach and Billy King, and they kept asking me about practice, and I just got frustrated. You know what I mean?
It's still a great line by you, though.
Yeah, but it was interpreted the
yes,
wrong way. You can't. There's no way now. If people do think that I didn't like to practice and I didn't practice, then damn, how good was I if I didn't practice? I couldn't accomplish the things that I've done without practicing. No way.
You should do one of those NFTs of that press conference where you're saying, we're talking about practice. Yeah. You can make some money off that.
Very lucrative.
Yes, it is.
Very lucrative.
I was there at game one when you played the Lakers in the finals, and he went off. Then I'm thinking, can Philadelphia win 4 games? I didn't think you guys could win 4 games against that talent. But what did you think? Would you have 48 against?
Yeah, I definitely thought that we could win. When we won game 1, we had game 2. I think Derek hit a big shot on me at the end. I think I didn't get over a screen, or I was trying to help or something, and he hit a big shot. But we had him in game 2 as well. But all in all, they were a better team. I mean, may he rest in peace and God bless him. You know, Kobe Bryant, he didn't destroy us. You know what I mean? Like he had in the regular season. Shaquille O'Neal beat us, and everybody talked about Dikembe having a great series, but Shaq averaged like 30-something and 15.
Yeah.
And we tried and we couldn't deal with them. But all in all, ultimately, they were just a better team than us. They just, they had the talent, obviously, and they were just a better team at the end of the day.
What's it like standing next to Shaq?
You ever stood next to a tree? A big tree. You know what I mean?
But that's a tree that moves, AI.
That moves and will run into you. Not a stationary tree that you have to run into. No, they will run into you. But I be around them now, and it amazes me. Like, I used to actually go in here and have him contest my shots. Like, I must have been out of my mind. That aggressive, you know what I mean, to go in there with him in it.
If you could give me one season right now, would you play for the Nets or the Lakers? You had to pick between those two.
The Nets and the Lakers with the squad they have right now?
Yeah.
Let me see. Was Kyrie? Kyrie was considered a two guard this year, right?
Yeah.
He was considered a two.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would rather whatever team that I could have played the two. You know what I mean? I think with the Lakers, Russ obviously would have been
he would have been the point.
He would have been the point, and then I could be off the ball and I could guard the point guard. He could guard two guard, being how big he is, and then LeBron could have played the three. So I think I would probably fit better with the Lakers. You know, being that Kyrie is being as great as he is, and we would have just been too small of a backcourt to try to match up with people.
Could LeBron ever surpass Michael Jordan as the best player, in your opinion?
I would never put anybody before him. I mean, obviously for, personal reasons, because, what he means so much to me and what he meant so much to me in my life, in my career. And then I just think, he's the greatest player to ever play. I think LeBron James is the greatest all-around player, that ever played the game. I mean, he's definitely on the Mount Rushmore of basketball, but definitely, him, LeBron, Mike, Kobe, LeBron, Shaquille, and Steph are definitely my all-time favorite.
It's great to talk to you. Hope you're doing well. Could you play 10 minutes a night? Like if somebody needed you tonight, could you play 10?
No, I probably can go. I probably can play 10 minutes, but they have to be in 1 minute stretches. I don't have to win for that no more, Dan. I'll be 46 in a minute. I mean, 47.
I know.
I'm 46 years old, and in June I'll be 47. So I don't even think about that no more. I get tired shooting jump shots now, man.
Good luck as the brand ambassador there for PointsBet, and great to catch up with you again. Thank you.
Thank you, man. Thank you, man. Big fan, and thanks for having me, man. I appreciate you.